Hello, and welcome back to Old Charles, where we dive deep into the fascinating world of rare and historical coins. In today's video, we'll explore the story, design, condition, and value of the United Kingdom 10 new pence coin from 1969. This is a coin with a rich history, and it played a major role in the UK's switch to decimal currency. So stay tuned until the end, because you might be surprised at how much this coin is worth today, depending on its condition. Let's begin with the history. The year 1969 was an important one in the United Kingdom's coinage system. The Royal Mint introduced the new pence series as part of the preparation for the country's transition from the old pounds, shillings, and pence system to a decimal system, which officially happened in 1971. The 10 new pence coin, often referred to as the decimal 10 pence, was first issued in 1968 and 1969. It was designed to be equal in value to 2 old shillings, meaning it was fully interchangeable with the old pre-decimal coinage. The coin was struck in copper nickel, with a weight of 11.31 grams, a diameter of 28.5 millimeters, and a thickness of 2.25 millimeters. At the time, it was quite a large coin, much bigger than today's 10 pence, which was later reduced in size in 1992, that millions of these coins were minted in 1969, making it one of the common early decimal issues. However, despite the large mintage, collectors still value this coin today, especially when found in excellent condition. Now let's talk about the design. On the obverse side, the coin features the iconic portrait of Queen Elizabeth II, designed by Arnold Machin. This version of the Queen's portrait is one of the most recognizable, and it was used on UK coinage from 1968 to 1984. The Queen is shown wearing the Girls of Great Britain and Ireland tiara, a piece of jewelry that became a symbol of her coinage portraits. That on the reverse side, you'll find the lion passant guardant, which is one of the traditional symbols of England. The design was created by Christopher Ironside, a famous coin designer. Above the lion, you'll see the words New Pence, and below it, the denomination 10. This lion design was used until 1981, after which the reverse design was replaced with other versions, as with most collectible coins. Condition is everything when it comes to value. Most of the 1969 10 new pence coins you'll find today are in circulated condition, showing signs of wear, scratches, and dullness from years of handling. These coins usually hold only a small premium over their face value, typically ranging between £0.20 to £1 depending on their wear. Coins that were never used in everyday transactions and still retain their original shine and mint luster are far more desirable. An uncirculated 1969 10 new pence coin can fetch anywhere from £2 to £5, sometimes more if it is in pristine condition or graded by a professional service. Some 1969 coins were also produced as proof issues for collectors. These have a mirror-like finish and sharp detail. Proof versions can be worth significantly more, often the range of £10 to £20 or higher, depending on rarity and demand. Collectors look for factors like sharpness of detail, lack of scratches, original luster, and eye appeal when evaluating these coins. Even slight improvements in condition can make a big difference in value. So, how much is the 1969 United Kingdom 10 new pence coin worth today in heavily circulated condition? It generally holds just a small collectible value, maybe 20 pence to £1 in uncirculated or near mint condition. You can expect between £2 and £5, or coins still sealed in their original presentation packs can bring £10 to £20 or more, while the 1969 10 new pence is not considered a rare coin. Its value lies in its historical significance as one of the very first decimal coins introduced in the UK. Many collectors want one as part of a complete set of early decimal issues, which helps keep demand strong. To sum it all up, the 1969 10 new pence coin is a fascinating piece of British history. It represents the nation's shift from the centuries-old pounds, shillings, and pence system into the modern decimal era. While it may not make you instantly rich, it's a must-have for anyone interested in coin collecting, British history, or decimalization. So, next time you come across a 1969 10 new pence, take a closer look. You might just be holding a small but important piece of history. We'll be exploring the fascinating story of the United Kingdom 10 new pence coin from 1969. We'll cover its history, design, condition, and of course, its value. Stick with me, because the history behind this coin is one of the most interesting chapters in British coinage. To truly appreciate the 1969 10 new pence, we first need to step back in time to understand the British currency system before decimalization for centuries. The UK used the old pounds, shillings, and pence system. A single pound was divided into 20 shillings and each shilling into 12 pence, making a total of 240 pence in 1 pound. While this system had deep historical roots, it was complicated for calculations, trade, and international commerce, especially in the modern world after World War I. By the 1960s, there was increasing pressure to simplify the system. Other countries in the Commonwealth, such as South Africa, Australia, and New Zealand, had already moved to decimal currency. In 1961, the British government appointed the Committee of Inquiry on Decimal Currency, chaired by Lord Halsbury. After years of debate, it was decided Britain would finally go decimal. The changeover date was set for February 15, 1971, famously known as Decimal Day. But to prepare the public for this massive shift, the Royal Mint began issuing some of the new decimal coins before 1971. This included the 5 new pence, worth 1 shilling, and the 10 new pence that brings us to 1968 and 1969, the first years when the 10 new pence coin was minted. The reason it was introduced early was very practical. Since the new 10p was equal in value to the existing 2 shilling coin, also known as a florin, both could circulate side by side without causing confusion. People were already familiar with the value, so the transition was smoother. The 1969 10 new pence therefore represents not just a coin, but a symbol of Britain's preparation for one of the most important financial changes of the 20th century. Another historical point is the size of the coin. The original 10 new pence, including the 1969 issue, was large and heavy, with a diameter of 28.5 millimeters. It stayed this way until 1992, when the coin was reduced in size to make it more practical for everyday use. The larger version was then withdrawn from circulation, which means coins like the 1969 10p are no longer seen in daily life, making them more interesting for collectors. In short, the 1969 10 new pence coin bridges 2 eras: the fading world of pounds, shillings, and pence, and the modern decimal system we know today. It is a coin that carries the story of change, modernization, and adaptation in British currency history. When it comes to coin collecting, one of the most important factors that determine a coin's value is its condition. For the 1969 10 new pence coin, this is especially true because millions of them were minted. That means the difference between a coin worth just pennies and one worth several pounds often comes down to how well it has been preserved over the past 5 decades. Now let's break this down into detail. Most 1969 10 new pence coins you find today will be in circulated condition. This means they were used in everyday transactions, passed from hand to hand, and often carried in pockets, purses, and tills for years. These coins usually show where on the high points of the design, such as the Queen's portrait on the obverse and the lion on the reverse. The once sharp details may appear smooth, and the fields of the coin may be covered with scratches, scuffs, and even tarnish. In this condition, their value is generally only slightly above face value, ranging from around 20 pence to £1, mainly as a collectible curiosity. Uncirculated coins are much harder to find. These are coins that were never released into general circulation or handled in daily use. They may have come from original mint bags, rolls, or collector sets. The rarest and most valuable versions of the 1969 10 new pence coin are the proof strikes. These were specially made for collectors, often sold in presentation cases or proof sets. Proof coins are struck multiple times with polished dies, creating a coin with a mirror-like finish and sharp, frosted details. Unlike circulation strikes, proof coins were never meant to be spent and usually remain in excellent condition unless mishandled. Proof coins from 1969 can fetch significantly higher values, often in the range of £10 to £20 or more, especially if they are still housed in their original Royal Mint packaging. To go even deeper, coin collectors often use a formal grading scale to describe condition. The most widely accepted system is a Sheldon scale, which grades coins from poor P1 all the way to mint state MS70. For the 1969 10 new pence, a fine F12 coin will show moderate wear, with designs visible but lacking detail. A very fine VF20 will have clearer details, but definite flattening on the high points. An extremely fine EF40 coin will show light wear only on the highest details, with most features sharp. An about uncirculated -50 Australian dollars coin will look nearly perfect, with just traces of wear visible. A mint state MS60 to MS65 coin is uncirculated, with full luster and sharp details. Though higher mint state grades are rare for this coin, professional grading services such as PCGS or NGC can certify coins, which often increases their value in the collector market. Several things influence the condition of a 1969 10 new pence coins stored loose, with others often develop scratches and marks. Contact with moisture or air pollution can cause tarnish or discoloration. Many collectors make the mistake of polishing old coins to make them shiny. Unfortunately, cleaning almost always lowers a coin's value because it scratches the surface and removes the natural patina. Coins stored in protective holders, albums, or airtight capsules generally survive in much better condition. Finally, condition is not just about technical grading. Collectors often pay more for coins with excellent eye appeal. That means coins with bright luster, attractive toning, and no distracting marks. Even two coins with the same grade can have very different market values based on how pleasing they look to the eye. From heavily worn to mint state, condition makes all the difference in value. So, when looking at your 1969 10 new pence coin, pay close attention to detail sharpness, luster, and preservation. These factors determine whether it's just a pocket change relic or a collector's prize.